This letter is called W. But when U looks like this, you'd think that it would make much more sense if the letter was called double V. So why is W called W? I'll explain in this video. To answer our question about the letter W, we have to look back at the Latin alphabet, which is where the English alphabet came from. Although the English alphabet has 26 letters, the alphabet used to write classical Latin only had 23 letters. And one major area where there's a difference is right here at the end of the alphabet. Where English has U, V, W, Latin only has V, or so it would seem. This Latin letter that looks like a V actually wasn't used for a V sound at all in classical Latin. No, it was used for the vowel sounds and U, like English U, and a W sound, like English W. For example, in this classical Latin inscription, we see the letter being used as a vowel to write the name Appius Claudius. In other words, such as Vulcanus, the Latin name of the Roman god Vulcan, the letter is used for a W sound. So in Latin, the letter that looks like a V had a U sound and a W sound. But over time, this changed. The vowel part stayed the same, but the consonant W slowly changed to become V. This was a gradual change, and it didn't happen at the same speed across the Latin-speaking world. In fact, the Spanish pronunciation of the letter V today fits somewhere in between these two sounds. Now, English isn't a language directly descended from Latin. It's a Germanic language. But from about the 8th century AD, Germanic languages began to be written using the Latin alphabet. In the most part, this was simple, because the sounds used by the Latin language and Germanic languages were similar. But there were a few problems, and one of them was that Germanic languages had a W sound. Latin didn't have a W sound anymore because it was changing to become V. And so, people writing Germanic with a Latin alphabet needed a way to write W. Here's what they came up with. As we learned in a previous Philologism video, often when languages need to write a sound they don't have a letter for, they use a combination of letters the alphabet already has. That's exactly what happened in this case. The W sound was represented by a double letter. And at this point in that letter's development, it was still mainly used for the vowel sounds and U, so this was a double U. By around the 14th century, people were writing double U's so much that what was originally a double letter began to be considered a letter of its own. W. That's how we got the letter as it is today. It was also during the 14th century that the letters U and V differentiated, so that the vowel sounds were now represented by the curved form U, and the consonant V represented by the original pointed letter V. Now, by the 14th century, Latin wasn't spoken anymore. Rather, it had developed into distinct languages called the Romance languages. These include Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese and Romanian. As we saw, the letter W was developed for writing Germanic, so it simply didn't exist in Romance languages. Even today, W is very rare in Romance languages, mostly used to write words borrowed out of Germanic languages like English. One final thing, any of you watching who know a little German could be wondering, what about the German W? The German W has a V sound, as shown by words like wunderbar. This is the case because in German, the sound W gradually changed over time to become a V sound. Does this remind you of anything? Think back to earlier in the video when we learned that Latin underwent the same change, W becoming V. This is one of the fascinating things that we often see in linguistics, the same phenomena happening in different languages completely independently. And there's another similarity in the change from W to V between Latin and German. In both cases, the change didn't happen at the same speed in all areas. Remember that Spanish still has a sound halfway in between the two? Well, in some areas of southern Germany, you'll find W pronounced with another sort of in-between sound. I hope you enjoyed learning about how the letter W came about and how it got its name. I've made other videos about letters of the alphabet, and you can check them out right here. Thank you for watching this video from Philologism. Did you learn anything that surprised you? Leave a comment. While you're here, like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll get another video from Philologism every week.